like moving and jumping up and down. I'm like, what the hell is it? A frog, a head, a cat? Like, what's in there? How many times have you seen people, they get a little money and then they go back into the hood, and what ends up happening to them? There's too many examples to name.
Wait is over, the wait is over. Welcome back.
This is commentary, so get out your feelings. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. It's your girl Nisha here, back in the cut. Once again, you ready to tidy? Y'all already know. Let's go ahead and jump into this video. Now, we are going to review Bel-Air. This is season 1, episode 5. The title of this one is PA to LA. Now, I do want to let y'all know I am feeling this so far. Now, I know a lot of people had something to say because they were looking for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to be given what it was given back then. You know what I mean? Give us that comedy, give us the love of the characters that we were used to. However, they decided to go into a different direction, and I love it. They're dealing with a lot of the social issues that we are dealing with today, and so, you know, that's just my spiel. That's my take on it. I like it, okay? You have Will. He went to go pick up Trey from the airport. Now, Will wanted Trey to come to LA with him to kind of get away from Rashad, which was the deed boy that was looking for Will in the beginning of the season or whatever. Now, he was handled. Okay, your boy Jeffrey had that taken care of. Will don't really know who did it, but I know that he has an idea. Now Trey gets here, he's looking at the house, he's like, oh my gosh, like this is grand. Too bad you ain't gonna be able to see it too much longer. You see Will hesitate a little bit. He like, man, I'm not really trying to leave. You know, I done got comfortable with where I am, and I'm not trying to go back home. You know, I'm not trying to go back to the poor life. I'm already getting a taste of the good life. I don't like the fact that I get what Trey is dealing with, right? You losing your friend because y'all had a little plan or whatever, some stuff kicked off, and so then your friend ended up having to move. But he ended up moving into a better situation. And so there's a little bit of jealousy there. He's trying to guilt Will into going back where, you know, going back home, what he's used to, because he no longer has to fear for himself. But here's the deal. Even though the main person was taken care of, he still had a squad. He still had a team. So I don't blame Will, one, for not wanting to go back to what he already knew what was back there. You know what I mean? He knew what that life was. He was broke. He didn't have much going on, but he had the love of his friends and his mom. Yeah, I had that, but now it's time for me to wear my crown. Now it's time for me to actually do what's best for me. Go to a better school, have better opportunities. Here I'm in politics, you know what I mean? I'm in sports. I have love interests. Lisa, shout out to your girl Lisa. You know, I don't want to go back home. And I feel like Trey in this episode really tried to guilt him into going back home. Hillary, I love Hillary. I love her, and she is beautiful. In this episode, you see Hillary is starting to feel like, you know what, it's time for me to live my own thing, to walk my own way. I'm not necessarily going to, you know, it's not going to be easy because I'm having to give up what mama and daddy's able to provide, but let me move out of this pool house into an influencer's house, okay, which I ain't never heard that before, but apparently a lot of content creators, they move here, bounce ideas off of each other, and then they just create in this house. Now, I was like, okay, girl, if that's what you want to do, boo. I do respect that she's ready to move out and do her own thing, okay, right? But before she leaves, they have a dinner, and there was, you know, the content creators where she's getting ready to go move with them. They came over to have dinner with them. There is a moment where they do a little prank. And so they have this serving dish that's rolled out there, and they say, this is a surprise for Hillary. And so Hillary is like, okay. So you see it kind of like moving and jumping up and down. I'm like, what the hell is it? A frog, a head, a cat? Well, they played a prank on her. It was like a stuffed animal with a, you know, battery operated or whatever. Will is the one that actually opened the dish up or whatever. And then this guy, one of the influencers, run across the room, and he doesn't have on any clothes. I'm like, how the hell do you get that comfortable in somebody else's mansion to where you can just come and walk around butt naked? I didn't get that, y'all. I really, you also see baby Ashley. She sits there and she's talking to one of the other influencers. I think she had wrote a book or something, and they're talking about sexuality and being comfortable with yourself. And I kind of noticed that she was really into the conversation, okay? She was very attentive and she wanted to really listen and hone in on sexuality. And so I said, mind you, parents off doing their own thing, not realizing that their child is standing there having a conversation with someone about sexuality. I understand why she didn't feel comfortable with having a conversation with her parents. I just get kind of a little bit mama bear protective when it comes to the influence of the child, okay? Not saying I don't let my kids get on social media and stuff like that. I do selectively let them indulge. However, I kind of really would respect her to have it with her parents, but I understand why she felt like she couldn't, because she wasn't comfortable. But later on in the episode, she actually had that conversation with her sister, and I loved it. I loved everything about that conversation. Let's talk about Trey. This is the problem. This is why it's never a good idea to bring your past into your current, okay? Sometimes you might want to leave them out your future. I'm just saying. So he's sitting there looking at Carlton, right? By the way, I can't stand Carlton. But anyway, he's sitting there looking at Carlton, right? Carlton, like, dude, what you looking at? Like, what's good? I mean, are you happy that, you know, Will won't be here too much longer? And he's like, what are you talking about? What, you didn't hear? Yeah. Oh, dude, he ain't here no more. They knocked him off. Yeah. So we good. You know what I mean? Yeah, that charge where he you know, oh, your daddy came through with the clutch. You know what I mean? He came through, made them charges disappear, took care of them. And I'm looking like, dude, you giving too much information. Y'all, if you have been watching this episode, you already know that Will has been very selective with the information he's been given with regards to why he's out there in LA, okay? Which was, in my opinion, the best thing he could have done. Because what ends up happening, people end up judging you based off of where you came from, and they won't give you a fair chance. You know what I mean? Carlton, like, oh, word? It was because he was running from something. Not only was he running from something, my daddy incriminated himself by helping him out in order to get here. So not only did Carlton already not like his ass, now he even more so don't like him, because you the cause of all this drama and stuff that's going on over here. And I'm like, dude, that's far from the truth. It's really not that simple. So that happens, and then Carlton, he ends up later on talking to his father, right? Is it true that this happened with Will? And if so, why did you put yourself in that situation? And then the daddy kind of tells him, yeah, it's the truth, but please, you know what I mean, keep a secret. And of course, Carlton is feeling some type of way, because since the dude got there, he been trying to get rid of him. This would have been an easy fade, like just get him done. But it's really not that simple, you know what I mean? Carlton, he went there and he, you know, confronted Will and told him, I know why you here, I know the truth or whatever, stay away from Lisa and all that type of stuff. Is it gonna dim his light? I highly doubt it. I love this character. Like, Will is like bouncing back on 100 every single time, so I feel like it's nothing he won't be able to handle. But I just feel like it's unfair. I talked to y'all about Hillary, right? And I love how she's out getting ready to do her own thing or whatever, but there was this moment where her and Ashley had a conversation, and they were talking about Ashley and how she loves someone, or not love, but she actually has a crush on someone. And then her sister's like, oh, really? And, you know, tell me more information. And then she ends up telling her, and she mentions that it's a girl. And instead of her sister judging her, saying, no, you don't need to do that, what is wrong with you, she kind of was very calm, allowed her to talk, and just said it's nothing wrong with having a crush on somebody, and it's not anything wrong with you having a certain preference. And because she was so calm and approachable and things like that, I think it made it easy for Ashley to, you know, one, accept who she is and what she likes, and two, be able to go to that next step and actually have a conversation with her parents. Y'all, let's get into Aunt Viv, baby. Baby, listen, honey. I think she gonna end up having a little love interest, honey. That might be some infidelity in her future. I'm just saying. Now, y'all already know she's struggling with her husband not supporting her dreams, her art and stuff like that. You know, at one point he referred to her as being a former artist, or like she used to paint type situation, past tense. And, you know, this is something that she's passionate about. And so she kind of like left her dreams to the side in order to help him, you know, follow follow his, which you see that happen a lot, right? And so now, with the help of her friends and everything, she's starting to try to put her foot back into what she actually loves. And she ends up going to this art museum, I think, with this guy, and his name is Michael. Now listen, his name not Michael on there, but y'all know it's the pretty blue eyes, right? Honey child, I say, baby, the way he was talking to her, baby, he was definitely interested in what Miss Viv was giving, honey. And he actually has like a blank spot. He tells her, this is where your art's gonna go. And she's like, I haven't had a chance to really get into my creative space. I said, baby, don't don't worry about it, honey. You're gonna be there very soon. Uncle Phil gonna have to get you up out that creative space because you're gonna spend so much time there with Miss Blue Eyes, honey. It's just gonna be hard for you to focus. Now, while we're talking about Uncle Phil, he got some little drama going on himself. Now, y'all know the campaign still going on, right? With the help of Will, he was able to have an event at a skating rink where he actually became one with the community, and he is telling them what it is they want to hear, kind of like what all politicians do. However, one of the things he mentioned was defund the police, and now his, the people that support him, they're no longer wanting to support him because of that alone. Y'all know how politicians are. They want you to get in these positions so they can really influence you. They drive you, the things you approve, the things you vote for, and all this, right? When he started talking their language, they didn't like that. Hold up, pause. What you doing? What you doing? Lisa Daddy is I think, what is he? He's an officer, okay? I think he's a captain or something like that. He ain't like that. Okay, he ain't like that. The people that he report to didn't like that, and they're like, what you doing when you don't flip the script? I know what you said, but if you don't fix that, you're not gonna have our support. And not only don't you have our support, honey, they actually have another they have a campaign ad where they're actually trying to paint him as Antifa because he's saying that he's going to defund the police. Now, y'all let me know what y'all feel about defunding the police. Me personally, I don't feel like defunding the police is going to fix the issue. I think you need to better vet the people that are there. I really don't know, because I watch a lot of the local politics and stuff like that, and defunding them is taking them off of the streets, and I think we need them on the streets. However, the flip side of that is we also need programs to where we can actually keep the people out of the jail. You know what I mean? Like, let's not put too many officers out there to plan for them to be in jail, but we need to focus on keeping them out of jail in the very first place. So I'm kind of torn between this whole idea, and it looks like Uncle Phil is too. This is the thing. He's like, look, I got money. I don't care if y'all pull away or not. I need to stand for what I believe in and what the people want. I am here for the people, not the other way around. But see, he's gonna quickly learn that if you want to be successful, you follow. And it's unfortunate, but that's what happens. Watch your local politics. You will know that's exactly what happens all the time. So we ended the episode with Will and Trey. They almost got into a fight, but luckily Will, he was able to maintain himself, and he just got up, and then Trey is like, I'm trying to leave. You know what I mean? I don't even want to be here anymore. But you kind of, like I said in the beginning, you see that struggle of him really wanting to be in a better place versus him, trying to go back and just doing what he was already used to just because his mom and his friend wants him there. I really love that part where it's at the end and Trey said, you're going soft. And then Will was like, there's more to the world than West Philly. And then Trey said, not to me, bro. See, it's that mentality right there that's going to get Trey hurt or either just stuck in the hood. You always should be progressing in life. And that's what I love about the show. I love what they're showing. I love how they're showing how kids are dealing with that, whether I leave or I stay. How many times have you seen people, they get a little money and then they go back into the hood, and what ends up happening to them? There's too many examples to name. What did stick out to me was Vi, and that is Will's mom, right? So earlier in the show, she FaceTimed Vivian, and she's, Vivian's all happy. Oh my gosh, he's out here, he's a star, he's able to get into politics, he's doing sports, he's doing so well out here, Vi. I'm so happy for him. And then Vi is like, but I'm still his mom, and you need not get comfortable with him because he's gonna come back. He's my child. I want him back by Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? And then Vivian's like, are you for real? Like, he's doing good out here. I really think he needs to be here. And then Vi has to remind her that I'm his mom, not you. Then later on, you know, Vi calls Will, and then she's talking to him, and he's like, Ma, I think I want to stay here. And again, she's like, I think I really want you back here with me. I've already talked to some recruiters and stuff like that, and they're ready for you. They've seen the highlights, they're excited. And then he's like, but Ma, like, you told me when I'm ready to wear my crown, I'll know. And I think I'm ready to wear my crown now. So I want to stay. And it should be up to me to stay. And I already know, like, as a parent, she's probably like, oh, that tricked and talked to my child, and she done got him to want to stay. I'm not able to provide enough for him, and he's wanting to stay down there because of what she's given him. And, you know, what am I gonna do without my child? I don't have my baby. And all these things are running through her head. And one, I wondered what was the relationship like between her and her sister. And then two, really, like, as a parent myself, how would I handle that situation? You know, how do I handle my child wanting to do better, and I want what's best for him always, but it's away from me? Like, how would I handle that? So I want y'all to get into the comments and let me know how y'all would handle it, okay? Let me know what y'all thought about the episode, and until next time, y'all, bye.
I'm ready to go. This tea is super hot. I'm about to rush. I'm back, 3 feet, no pressure.